If you are planning to move to Australia and you already received your visa or going to receive your visa soon, whether you are coming on a temporary visa, permanent visa, tourist visa, student visa, whether you're coming here for a short stay, long stay, or permanent stay, and you have few questions before you move to Australia, then this video can be useful for you. So for a newcomer to Australia, you might have some question. For example, how to verify your visa. So sometimes what happens is in some countries there are some scam agents and they might give you some fake visa. So you need to know first how you can verify your visa, and you also want to know which one is the best flight for me to come here, and how's the weather in Australia, and also what is the best place for money exchange, where I can find the cheap and best accommodation, and whether you can use your existing mobile phone, and also what else you need to know before you start your preparation to come to Australia. If you have these questions in your mind, then this video is for you. Please keep watching. So 10 things you need to know before moving to Australia. So first of all, whether you already received your visa or you're going to receive your visa very soon. So first thing, you need to verify your visa details if you want, just for the mental satisfaction. Then you can do the verification on the government website. The link is here. I will also paste the link in the description. But what you can, if you Google for check visa details Vivo, this is a Vivo website basically. And here you can see this website, Immigration Home Affairs. If you open this website, and here if you scroll down, you can see this link here, check your visa details. Click on it, it will open a new link, and here you can select the what type of document you're using. For example, you can use your passport to verify, and here next is the reference type. You can select the reference type. For example, in your visa you can see maybe the TRN number, transaction reference number. Also you will see the visa grant number. So let's say if you select visa grant number, then it will ask you more questions. For example, what is the visa grant number? You need to enter the visa grant number here, and then your date of birth here, and document number. So document number is basically your passport number here, and your country here you need to select, and select this box, and then you can submit. And next screen will show you all your visa details, the person who is linked to the visa, details of the visa, everything that you can see in your visa you can verify here. And this is the government website. So we go to the second one, is your flight option. So flight, you may be coming from any country, but basically I am from India, so I'll show you how you can, if you're coming from India, then you can the options I'll tell you, but you can also Google it whether you're coming from any other country, or you can also go to the travel agent and they can give you all the details. So if you're coming from Australia, we have two options, whether you can select the direct flight or you can also go for the one-stop flight. So direct flight is basically run by Air India, and this takes about 12 hours journey from India to Melbourne. And they also coming to Sydney as well, so 3 days a week at the moment, so they keep changing. And there's another option. If you, now this flight, the direct flight, is little bit costly. If you're looking for a little bit cheaper, then you need to go via one stop stay, and those options are, you can come via Thailand, you can come via Singapore, you can come via Malaysia. So Malaysian Airlines, Singapore Airlines, Thai Airlines, and also you can come via the Emirates, via the Middle East. And there'll be one stay. Usually the length of the stay is between 2 hours to 5 hours, depends, sometimes longer. So you need to check with the online or also check with the agent. So you can go for these flights. As I said before, that flight is a little bit costly, but it's a bit easy. But there's no harm with no issue with the indirect flight as well. You can choose as well. But one thing you need to make sure, if you are vegetarian, then make sure you mention this to your travel agent when you're booking the ticket. Even if you forget to mention it while booking the ticket, you can call your airline, the local customer service number, and you can give them the ticket booking details and ask them to put your vegetarian request. And what they will do, they will organize the special vegetarian meal for you. Otherwise, if you don't tell them, there is no guarantee that you will get the vegetarian meal on your flight. So that's very, very important. So that's the flight details. So as I said, if you're coming from any other country, please Google it or check with the travel agent. Now, third thing is weather in Australia. Now, weather is different all over Australia. You might know that the weather we have is a bit different from the rest of the world. So we have summer here in December to February for 3 months. Then we have autumn, and then we have winter from June to August, and spring from September to November. Now the weather here is very, very different. Especially the weather in Melbourne, Sydney and Adelaide, they're pretty much same. And the weather in other cities like Perth and Brisbane, they're bit warm and hot weather, you can say that. So what I mean to say is, so especially in Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, what happens is we have, you can say, what I call it a decent weather. So when I say decent weather, that means most of the year we have like you need to put on like a skinny jacket or something most of the year. So it's not very, very hot here, and the winter here is not that bad. In winter, the minimum temperature, night temperature can be like, some days can be 1 degree, some days can be 5 degree, and maximum temperature can vary between 10 to 15 degree. So as I said, I'm from India, and if you're from North India, the winter is similar, same cold like we have in North India. But if you're from South India, East India, West India, you might feel that the winter here is very, very cold because you're not used to it. If you're from North India, then you will find the winter is pretty much same, so you won't feel much difference. But the thing you need to make sure is the weather here is very it can change anytime. So what I mean is, I'll give you some example. I'm living in Melbourne since 2005, and I'll give you some of my experience. So for some days, when not in winter, but in, you can say, in autumn or summer, some in the morning, when early morning when I'm going to work, I'm driving to work, I'm using the heater in the car, but while coming back it's too hot and I'm using the air condition. So you can think like in the morning using heater, you're putting all the jackets on, and while coming back you need to turn on the air condition, you remove all the jackets. So that's a big change. And some days you will see all the 4 weathers in one day. So for example, in the morning you will see winter, couple of hours you will see autumn, couple of hours you will see summer, couple of hours you will see spring. So it's not a fixed weather, it keeps changing. And especially in summer you will see some big change. For example, some days will be like in the daytime, summer is like, some days are 40s, otherwise 30s, you can say, in Melbourne maximum. So some days will be like, there will be big change in the temperature. For example, it can be 40 degree in the day, and all of a sudden late afternoon it will be dropped 20 degrees straight away within 1 hour. So that means you had the air condition on, now you need to find your jacket. So that's a big difference here. So make sure if you're coming to Melbourne or Sydney or Adelaide, they have similar weather, make sure you have most of the clothes that you bring are for winter. But if you're going to other cities like Perth and Brisbane, then you can have your they mostly have the warm weather and hot weather. So they don't have weather like here. So they only have 2-3 months of winter, and most of the time it's warm or hot. So you can also Google it whether you're going to a specific city, and then you can plan your journey accordingly. So that's the weather. Next we'll talk about the clothes I suggest you to bring. As I said earlier, that if you're coming to Australia, these cities like Melbourne, Melbourne, Sydney or Adelaide, then bring most of your clothing, bring your winter clothing, most of them. And also if you coming to as a student on a student visa, or any maybe on a spouse visa or any visa where you are not a skilled person or not a skilled worker, you need to find any job, then I would suggest you to bring, especially for students, you need to bring black trousers. It's very important because most of the jobs here, like if you go and try a job in hospitality, in aged care, in child care, they ask you for a black trouser to wear all the time, and they give you their own shirt or something, but black trouser is, you will find it most of the places. So bring at least 2 or 3 black trousers if you're going to find any job here, unskilled job here, especially for the students. So that's my advice for clothes. And again, as I said, depending on if you go into the cities like Perth, Brisbane, then bring more warm clothings. You can also bring your own phone and laptop that you're using over there in your own country, and that's fine as far as your phone is not locked by a network company. Otherwise you can use your phone here as well, so that's not an issue. Whether you're using a local brand or an international brand phone or maybe Chinese brand phone, they all work here, that's not a problem. Same with the laptop, you can bring your laptop here. But if you are going to buy, or if you're planning to buy a new laptop or new phone, then I would personally recommend to buy when you arrive here, because you have the local warranty and you won't have an issue in case if there's an issue with your device. And also price wise, they're pretty much same all over the world when you talk about all the international brands, especially in Australia. If you're careful, then you can find it cheaper than other countries, because sometimes there's sale going on and you can find it. And if you're bringing your own iPhone or iPhone or Samsung phone, any phone or laptop, make sure, or any device, electronic device, then make sure you bring a power plug, Australian power plug that looks something like this. You can buy it from a local electric shop, or otherwise you can go to eBay or Amazon and you can purchase online over there. So make sure you bring it, otherwise you won't be able to use your existing adapter. Next is money exchange. Now there are many options for money exchange. For example, you can go to your local bank. You can also go to outside the airports, you will see some counters for the money exchange. That's another option. But the best option is also you can bring your money here. You can outside here in the airport in Australia as well, you can convert your money. But the best option where you can find your best conversion rate is the local money exchange shops that you can find in a local city. If you never heard of it, you can Google it and you will find it. And there's so many shops you will find in your local area, in the city especially, and you can Google it and they give you a better exchange rate as compared to the shops outside the airport. So that's my recommendation, you can go to those shops. Next we have is learn driving if you don't know. Now if you are coming on, especially doesn't matter any visa, and you're not here for a short term, you're here for long term, then bring your driving license. And if you don't know driving, then I would recommend you to learn driving as soon as possible. Especially if you're coming on a student visa, then it's must that you know driving, because here without driving it's very hard. It's very easy it's very easy and cheap to buy a car here. I'll put a new video for this later on, but to learn driving here is very costly. For example, driving lesson can cost you, so like 1 hour driving lesson will cost you around $50, $40 to $50 per hour for one class. So now you can think about it, how costly it is. And you need, depending on your expertise and skills, you need a couple of lessons. So it can be very costly here to learn to drive. So if you don't know driving, make sure you learn over there. And when I say you learn over there, for example, if I talk about the countries like India, there's so many drivers providing the like 20 days course, 30 days course for car driving. Now I would recommend you to, when you complete say 20 days course or whatever they're providing, don't stop there. Keep driving until you arrive in Australia. Okay, so it's not about learning the basic driving. You need to be very confident on for driving, because you can learn the basic driving for 20 days course, for example, but once you arrive here, you need to pass the test, you need to be confident, you need to go for more lessons. So again, it will be costly. So my recommendation, so keep driving, keep learning unless you catch a flight. So, and also do not worry about making an international visa. That won't give you any extra thing. Whatever visa you, sorry, not visa, license. So whatever driving license you already have, just bring that one here, because you won't find any difference, because you can use your existing driving license to drive here, and international driving license will not give you anything extra. I will put a new video later on for more about the driving, how you can book the driving here, driving license if you need, or how to book a test, what are the different steps to get a driving license here, and how you can use your overseas driving license here. I'll put more details in a separate video later on. So that's all about learning car driving. Next is accommodation. Now if you already know someone where you're gonna live here, that's very good. If you don't know, then you can book online as well. Now there are some websites like airbnb.com.au, flatmate.com.au, melbournegumtree.com.au, or same with other cities like Sydney Gumtree. You can just search for on the Gumtree website. So you can find accommodation here. Many people, they put their advertisement here, and you can pay. For example, Airbnb, you can pay in advance and you can book your accommodation in any area of Australia. Now these are basically Airbnb is most like for temporary accommodation, and then once you arrive here, you can then find a permanent accommodation. There's some other website like realestate.com and all that, but I will not put details about the real estate website here, because with them you need to go by the real estate agent. You should be here, physically here, present here first. You need to have a job, like an income proof, and then also you need to sign a 1-year contract with the real estate, by the real estate agent, to rent the property. So don't worry about the real estate website for now. So these 3 websites, there is no contract, and you don't need any income here to show, so you can book your accommodation here. That's all about the accommodation. And airport pickup, and again, if someone is going to pick up you from airport, that's very good. If not, then when you come outside the airport, you will find taxi. You can also book your via Uber, Ola and Didi app, and it's very easy, very straightforward. If you don't know where the taxi stand, just come outside, and there are directions, so there are people out there and security guards, they can tell you where to go, and it's very straightforward. And especially if you're coming from India, then you will find most of the taxi drivers, Uber drivers here, they are Indian, so there won't be any problem. So book a taxi. Taxi cost is around, depending on how far you want to go. For example, roughly 40-50 kilometers if you need to go, then it costs you around $100 Australian dollars to $120 roughly. Again, you can go to the Uber website and you can estimate the cost from Melbourne airport to the suburb where you're going, so that will give you an estimate. But again, keep that in mind that it depends what time of the day you book your taxi or Uber, because there are different prices for weekends and weekdays, different prices for peak hours and non-peak hours. So check that on the Uber website, that will give you a rough estimate. So that's all about the things you need to understand and learn before you move to Australia. And I'll be putting more videos later on regarding what other things you need to do or you need to know when you arrive here. So please like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can get update about all the new videos. And thank you very much. If you have any question, please feel free to put your comments in this video, and we're happy to answer you. Thank you very much for that, and have a good day.